So this is a super shorty. I just posted an unboxing, first impression of this Espy Solar. I don't know what version this is. Whatever that is. It's dope looking, dude. And the neck is okay. The frets are a little rough. And the electronics, I mean, they're kind of garbage. I'll be honest with you. I don't really like these at all. I don't think these are. I know it's a $300 guitar, okay? So let's get that out of the way. I know it's a cheap guitar, but I don't like them. So I just plugged them in through, my little PV amp here on, well, it's on my fuzzy kind of metal setting, whatever. I don't think whenever I plug into here, even with the volumes all the way off, it hums. The electronics hum a little bit. It plays fine. This doesn't really get in the way. I'm going to try to clean this off. Overall, I think the guitar is fine. I think that the tuning isn't very stable. Maybe that's just because it came across the world and I need to just wait and let it. But it doesn't seem very stable at this point. The tuning doesn't. It looks like this is a volume and a tone, three-way switch. It works good. You get very different tones through the switch, which is nice. I like that. The tone, I think volume or the knob works good. And I think this part of the electronic works fine. I don't think that the sound of whatever is coming out of here works very good. And I don't think the tuning is very stable. And it is very scratchy on the lower parts of these. It's just very scratchy. And so you get a little bit of a fuzzy sound out of the lower strings in particular. Now for chug worthy, these upper, 4, 5, and 6, E, A, D. These ones, you can chug like a madman on this. That's good. I mean, we're looking at the chug project here. Chug, 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 chug. It chugs, but maybe it's this string right here that's not staying in tune. Maybe if I restring it. But I'm going to let it kind of sit around. I'm going to just check on it in a couple weeks. But overall, I would say this is a $200 guitar you're paying $300 for. And I would give it, let's say, out of 5 stars for a $300 guitar, 5 stars being perfect, I would give this probably a 3 based on quality control of the finish, the bridge, the hardware, and then the electronics and the tuning stability don't seem amazing, but they're okay. So I would give it a 3-ish, 3.5 stars total as it sits right now. First impression, first little just jammity jam. And I'm not a great guitarist, man. I'm a learning guitarist. I played for a couple of years, 3 years or so back in my late 20s. I am 49 years old. And I just started playing guitars again about 3 months ago. Because I'm sitting here doing nothing. So I am definitely learning. But I did spend a lot of time, and I've owned a lot of guitars. And I don't own that many guitars now. I don't own that many amps. But when the 3 years when I really got into it in my 20s, I mean, we had a little garage band. We were playing stuff like, The Haunted, and, Slayer. And, we were getting into, what was that band? I think he might even played for them. Soul something, Serpent something. Fuck, I forget the name of it. But, and we did a lot of drop D standard tunings. It just made it sound badass. And I had my crate, FlexWave 300 watt, let's make some massive noise. I also had some Marshall, and I had, a BC Rich guitar, and I've had, Epiphones and a Gibson and Fender guitars. I played all these guitars, and right now I'm just trying to get back into playing guitar again because I've always loved it, and I just, through divorces and moving and job changes, I've just kind of let it fall by the wayside, and I couldn't go on any longer in my life without having guitars, without playing guitars. And I'm by no means a guitar expert, even though I have built a lot of stuff with woodworking, painting. You know, I've done a lot of construction in my life, and I understand these things, and I watched tons. And when I started, there wasn't any YouTube videos about any of this stuff. Nowadays, there's 1,000 videos on everything. And this guitar is dope, dude. I'll be honest with you. I love this guitar just because it's a S by Solar, right? So just because it's, man, I wish I could swap this around so you can see it. So it feels, I like the neck feeling, right? It's a little rough on the back, dude. I mean, but as I play it, it feels like it's just surface grind, right? But these frets are definitely, I mean, an extra 5 minutes, yo. I mean, really have them just, I don't know if that's common. No, it's definitely not common. Didn't feel common. No. So this is they're definitely just a little rough. And the electronics, I'm just not super stoked with the electronics in general. I haven't looked in the back yet, so I don't know what's sitting back here. Is this gonna, oh, there we go. But overall, I'm pretty stoked that I have it, and I would recommend you buy one, but just know what you're going to get. You're getting, hopefully they address some of these QC issues, but I would recommend supporting Ola, and I would recommend supporting Solar Guitars, and I would recommend buying one of these things, just knowing that this is not going to be a player guitar, right? This is going to be a hanger. This is a wall hanger guitar, unless you go spend money and time fixing it and upgrading it. This is definitely, I didn't see, if this is his intermediate guitar, this is definitely not intermediate guitar. This is a beginner guitar. And for your kid though, on Christmas, man, I'll be honest with you, after plugging it in and playing it, there's a little bit of a hum. The electronics aren't great, and the tuning stability isn't awesome right now, but literally it just came over the Atlantic Ocean from Spain. So, and I live on the West Coast in Washington. So, yeah, dude, if you want to buy your son or daughter a dope ass metal guitar and you don't want to spend $1,000 to $1,500 and you want to get something that he can just jam and chug on and he's a little metalhead, yeah, dude, buy this for your kid. I mean, I might do the $299ers instead of the, you know, or the $250ers, or, you know, maybe get a different style or a slightly less expensive one. But I think if you price these things at like $249 or something, it would be, you know, instead of being a 3-star, and if they just did a little bit better on the finish here, I think if they left everything the way it is, made sure that the finish was good, because this is, that's like, it's like going from a smooth, imperfect surface to fucking sandpaper, homie. It's super lightweight sandpaper, but that's sandpaper. I think this is worth, you know, the money. I mean, and if they just did that, if you get it without any of this, I think, yeah, you're probably good. I think this is probably a decent buy. I would take this from a 3 to a 4-star in this condition. The real product, I get it, it's a cheap one. So I just think that this stuff, I mean, and just the electronics inside of it. I get electronics can be expensive as shit. Maybe there's something wrong in there. The hum is not really that bad. It's just very mild. I mean, it's very, very, very mild. Let's turn this thing on. Give me this plug. This is going to be noisy for a second here. Hold on. Let's just turn the volume down. It's just, I don't even know if you can hear it. It's just a little crackle, right? It's like this little crackle that I don't get from a lot of other stuff. Let me. See, the bottom ones, I have tried to tune these bottom 3 strings, or the top 3 strings, you know, the high E, So, like I said, I am just learning, okay? So, turn this thing off here. Very nice as shit. I am just learning how to play the guitar again. And it's been, well, last time I had a guitar, I think I was 30, and I am 49. So it's been almost 20 years, and I've had guitars for maybe 2 months. Picked it up at a pawn shop, 140 bucks. I picked that up one off Marketplace, $100. I bought that off of Marketplace too, this Charvel that I absolutely have never played a Charvel before in my life, and oh my God, I love Charvel guitars. This thing just is so nice. This has a pretty flat neck too. I really like the neck profile of these things. I really like the neck profile of that one as well. And Schechter was one of my favorite when I was younger, in my 20s. And I love this Gojira one. And it's made in Indonesia. But this thing is just a solid guitar, right? Like, and I picked it up for 400 bucks. So I thought it was a deal. And I dig it the most, right? And I dig this one too. I just think that, you know, with a little extra quality control, just maybe make sure the electronics are just a little bit better. Maybe find just, you know, one step up on this bridge. It just feels it feels like I could bend this thing in my hand. And just maybe a little more control on this. And this would be a 5 out of 5 in my opinion. And I would recommend this for, say, you know, 11, 12, 13-year-old beginner kid. 300 bucks, not a bad deal. It's metal as hell. The bag, whatever. You know how I feel about the bag and that cheap-ass cable. But the guitar itself is, I'm probably going to go up. I think just from jamming on it, I think the bottom part really bugs me. But that may just, I'm going to give that a little time. But if that fixes itself and I can get it to stay in tune, I think this is a solid 4 out of 5, yo. Just the way it sits. I mean, if it didn't have this and it had a slightly better bridge and a little bit better tuning, and I've tried to tune this like 3 or 4 times now, it would be a 5 out of 5. But hopefully, I mean, these are marks on it. Hopefully these, yeah, they'd come right off. Okay, so these are just little dirt marks that came out of the shipping or whatever. So, but yeah, it's still a dope ass guitar. All right, well, that's another, geez, we already got 13 minutes yipping and yapping about this thing. And it's just sick looking, right? Like, look at this thing, dude. This is a badass. Let's stick it up against this thing here. See if it'll stay. Stay. You just sit against the Marshall. There we go. It's just, I mean, look at that thing. I gotta put that speaker. I'm building a speaker box. I gotta order another speaker. That's the Eminence DB77. That I'm building a speaker box for. I gotta get some more wood. Yeah, so I kind of want to get this one and Vintage 30 in the same cab, so I kind of get the blend of the more aggressiveness of this and the full or midsection or whatever of the Vintage 30 together. But I'm gonna try and see what it does. I mean, I'm building the box, so I looked at boxes online and I was like, nope, I can buy the lumber way cheaper. But that's it. I think Ibanez are all right. I just don't like the neck feel of those. I don't know what it is too, because it doesn't really feel like it's that different, right? It actually feels pretty skinny and it's okay. It feels actually skinnier than his. I just have never got along with, maybe it's a little wider or something. I don't know, I haven't measured it at all. And they're okay, dude. I like this. I think these Geos are made pretty well. So, I mean, I've never, like I said, I never owned a Charvel before I bought that one. And I absolutely love that guitar. That guitar is awesome. I like playing that guitar. I like putting it in my hand. I like picking it up. It's great. And the Schecter I got literally today. I went and met the guy and picked that thing up. It's a little beat up, but I'm going to restring it, intonate it, clean it, tune it. And I'll be honest with you, I've never played a shitty Schecter. I mean, I've always liked the way they feel. I always like the solidness of the body. I've never played a shitty Schecter, and maybe I just got lucky. I just really like the feel of Schecter guitars. And this one I like the feel of too. There's a few things that I was a little disappointed in, but overall I would say this is a solid beginner guitar. But he doesn't have any intermediate guitars. He has the S by Solar, they're all beginner guitars. And then he has Solar, which are all higher end guitars.